The next concept is schedule and planning. So one of the things that's that's important in the morning is, okay, who do I need to talk to? Who's blocked that I'm blocking, so I need to talk to them about that, or vice versa. I'm being blocked, so who do I need to talk to? Or there's a PR waiting to be reviewed, and it's been in review for a day or two, and you've been putting it off. So you might need some peer review time or something like that. So we have this concept of trying to help you figure out who you need to talk to that day to get your work done. Yeah, so that's the high level concept there. And then the next one, the current stand-up view that we have, it is useful. We're just trying to figure out exactly how we parlay that into the notebook. Is it a slide over thing that comes over and you see things? We're still trying to figure that out, but there's definitely stuff in that current stand-up view that we have that will show up here in daily, quote unquote.
I wonder too, like, is it really more of like a representation, like the current stand-up view, obviously with tweaks with the new board stuff, but is it really more of a sprint entity screen and a Kanban entity screen, or like a board entity screen?
Right.
And just kind of divorce it from, quote, the stand up, make the daily that we're working on more of like the habit of the what we are calling the stand up view today. Replace it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even call it a stand up view, like you said, call it daily. But then turn the current view, which does have views. It's really the board. It's either the sprint. You pick your board and then you look at the current sprint, and you can pick a different sprint if you want, a future sprint, an older sprint, whatever. And it just gives you all the details of the sprint. Because that's really, or I'm using sprint high level. It could be the Kanban board, and then It's just the Kanban board, and it's always just the exact representation of what you might see in Jira or what you might see in whatever your issue system is, with all the value we add to it.
Yeah,
right, with all the value we add to it.
Right. Yeah, because at the top, like in the,
because that's really all. At the end of the day, that's all it is. It's an entity screen. Entity being like a Kanban board or a sprint. Right. What do you guys think of that?
I'm game for it. I'm curious what other people think, though. Yep.
That definitely makes sense to me. I think we need to just make sure we do focus on kind of giving the team tools to figure out how they can get everything on the board done. So I really love the collaboration stuff on the log, and I think it is important also to keep a view of the board, because some teams, it's not so much for us, but many teams will be really strict about, we need to get everything on our board done by the end of the sprint. So being able to have that view of the board where you can see everything that's there, have discussions around certain issues, link those issues back to discussions in the log. I love that idea.
Well, then if you treated it more like an entity, then like the whole concept of, again, whether we decide to do this UX wise, or not, that's up to Matt and team. But I'm just saying, like, conceptually, like the slide over of entities, like an issue or a PR, it's just another, like if I click on my board, I just slide it over and I can see everything on the board. I can drag and drop things, move things around on my board, either on my sprint or my Kanban board. It kind of represents the exact same order that's in Jira, GitHub, whatever. And it's just another thing that I can, at any time sort of access.
Yeah. So something I really like as well that I've been kind of thinking about is being able to suggest a sprint backlog order for the team. So currently our kind of sprints, if you look at them, they're kind of all over the place. You have some closed issues at the top, some at the bottom, some in the middle. Priority is not always the right order. So being able to kind of say, hey, using our data science, we know that this is probably the best order to work things, to get things done in the time that you have. And just move closed items out of the way so they're not just all over the place.
Well, and to that point too, with Agent 4, what I want to be able to do is make it all drag and drop like we do on planning, right? So I can, if I just move things around, if the team just moves things around on the board or on the thing, then it just removes it and reprioritizes it automatically, So
makes sense.
Right now we just kind of show you whatever. You can go over to Jira and move things around, and the Agent 4 obviously will reflect those movements, right, on our order, ideally, once we make that changes. But it'd be cool too if I could just stay in Pinpoint and move things around, and then obviously it reflects it back the other way.
Yeah, definitely makes sense.